Survivor Series 2025 was very disappointing. Not necessarily bad because it had some good moments, but even the good moments had a lot of things that made me question things. So, like for example, the women's war games. First of all, the glaringly obvious thing that they didn't do was the cages. Like that was the most memorable, not the most memorable, but like one of the most memorable parts of war games is the wrestlers in the cage waiting to go out, and neither of them had it. They showed off the little hallway walkway thing. I thought, okay, they're going to play this, going to do something with this, right? A babyface is going to get attacked in the tunnel. They're going to miss another opportunity. They're going to come out later. That's what I thought they were going to do with the women's, right? I thought Becky's going to attack AJ Lee back there, and then they get the advantage that way. But they didn't do that. They didn't do it for the men's either. And speaking of the men's, they didn't have the cages for that either. And one of the most memorable parts of last year's War Games was CM Punk and Roman Reigns in the cage. Sort of miss out on that, especially with the storyline of the three of them arguing whose team it is. I thought, okay, they're gonna play into this. You're gonna do the little shoving thing. Okay, who's gonna start the match? Who's going out second? Who's going out last? They didn't do that either. They just did normal entrances. Punk came out first, and that was it. And Roman came out last. So that was very disappointing. Second thing about the women's war games I didn't like was the order of entrances, right? Charlotte Flair and Asuka started off the match. No problem with that. Two of the best workers in wrestling history. No problem with that. And then Io came out and not Alexa. Again, I'm like, okay, you got a history between Asuka and Io. Fine. Then Becky came out. I'm like, okay, Becky and Charlotte got history. But I'm like, why not have their tag partners come out first? Right? Why not have Io come out later and do Asuka and Kyrie versus Charlotte and Alexa? That made more sense to me. But then AJ Lee came out. I'm like, okay, it made sense, but like it didn't. It made me question, like, okay, you could have saved her for last. You could have did what I proposed with the hallway storyline thing, and her coming out like the very last, but they didn't do that. So just the order for me kind of threw me off a little bit. Lash Legend did come out very last. She looked phenomenal. They made her look like $1 million. Looks like they're going to build her up over on SmackDown. SmackDown, that's a big deal, and I'm not mad at it. At least overall, the match was okay. It just felt like it never got out of that first gear. You know what I mean? It kind of felt like they were supposed to go on for a lot longer than what they were. It just got cut off, and it's just the ending kind of just felt flat. Like I thought they're gonna jump Becky, everyone gonna hit their finishers, but no, it was literally just Rhea Ripley and then AJ Lee. Like that's it. And Charlotte Flair and Alexa kind of just stood there. Like I get it, Charlotte Flair doesn't really have a traditional like finisher. Yeah, she has a submission move, so that really wouldn't work. But you could have figured out something. You know what I mean? You could have had Alexa do something, could have Io do something. Have everyone hit the finisher and then have AJ Lee do the submission and have her finish it that way. But I don't know. It fell flat for me. I think last year's match was a little better than this. Again, I didn't hate it. It's just it didn't hit. Then we had John Cena versus Dom. Overall, I did not have too much of a problem with this. This is my favorite match of the night. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed this one. John Cena's last ever PLE pay per view, whatever you want to call it, match ever, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Dom came out. He faked an injury. Raquel and Roxanne, they start jumping John. I'm thinking, yo, equal rights. He really gonna fight back, but he didn't. Dom tried to cheat, but surprisingly, the first time I've ever seen this in a wrestling match, the ref had common sense. The ref said, "Whoa, you just faking an injury. I'm not counting that. No, no, no. You two skedaddle." And I'm like, oh, he actually did the thing. I did not think that was gonna happen, but he did. The match continues. They go back and forth. John hits a double AA on Finn and JD. Then Liv comes out. I thought they were going to save her for the Royal Rumble. That made sense to me. But apparently she's a lot more healed than you thought, or I thought anyway. She comes out, she slaps Dom. I'm thinking, oh, she turned already? I thought they were going to like build up to it. She hugs John. She does the John face. She did the same thing John did in the Elimination Chamber. They did back to John. Kicks him in the nuts. GG. Dom wins. He's a new IC champ. Love it. So they're gonna build that storyline of Liv and Dom still being the thing, and then Roxanne still being that little third wheel, kind of looming in the background a little bit. Love it. John is no longer the IC champ. He can retire with the win. Because if he had the IC title, he had to lose. He wasn't going to retire with the IC title of all things. If it was a US or the World Championship, I can see it. IC title. I just didn't see it. So he can lose with it. He can end his career with a win. And I enjoyed it. Shout out to John. One last match. I'm not ready for it. I think I'm like that. I don't really cry too often with wrestling matches. But this might be one of the few times I do, because that's going to hit. That's my childhood right there. One last match. That's crazy. Speaking of one last match, we do not need no more match between Nikki, Bella, and Stephanie back here. We do not need it. We don't. Didn't care for the match. Crowd didn't care for the match. Who cares? it happened. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it. That's all. I'm not talking about no more. Now, main event, men's war games. My problem with this is one, the cages, like I said earlier, they didn't do anything with the cages. That's a built-in storyline you had right there. It was the easiest layup you can possibly do. My second problem with this was the ending, right? Some dude in all black comes out. He hits a super kick, hits a curb stomp, and leaves. And that's it. Braun just spears CM Punk. That's it. Like, it was a super hype match. I really enjoyed this match. It's just when WWE does the surprise endings like that, like surprise returns, and you don't reveal who it is, it kind of lowers it for me. Like, if you're gonna do it, go all the way with it. Show me who it. At least give me like a little tease. You know what I mean? I guess they're supposed to tease it's Seth, but that's clearly not Seth. Okay, he's a little too agile. Okay, I heard some people saying, "Oh yes, Randy. Randy is not moving that fast. Randy hasn't moved that fast in 20 years. That is not him. That is not him. That is someone that's not LA Knight either. He's not that agile either. So that's only a handful of guys." And it's not Randy, it is not Seth, and it's not LA Knight. You can get that out your head right now. There are some predictions people have on the internet. People saying it's Austin Theory. One person said it was Tony D'Angelo. So I guess they're going to show us who it is on the coming roles. I probably think it's Austin Theory. That's the one I'm leaning towards. That's the most speculated option out there. And I wouldn't hate it. So that's my little prediction. But let's talk about the match. CM Punk and the babyface were getting jumped. Like, they were getting cooked, right? They were getting obliterated. Jey Uso comes out. He actually does it. He took a sweet time to get into the ring, though. He was taking a sweet little time. He gets in the ring. He handles it. He packs everyone up, right? And then he does the most annoying thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm not a Jey Uso hater, but that one moment just turned me into it. This man, mid war games. Meanwhile, they were all getting jumped, right? You were just getting destroyed just a minute ago. This man climbs to the top of the war game structure and starts eating. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way you start eating in the middle of a war games match that y'all were getting cooked in. It's one thing y'all were dominating this entire time. You start doing it. No. You just got there. Everyone else was getting packed up. And then Brock Lesnar comes out, and they all of a sudden want to lock in. I'm like, man, miss you with that. Brock comes in, literally solo squads everyone. All four of them just got 1v4 like he Thanos, like the end of Infinity War. Like, bro was getting cooked, bro. Like, it wasn't even funny. Roman comes out, he saves the day. Brock Lesnar comes out the cage and mets him out the ramp. He said, yo, it's on site. They start scrapping. They doing the thing outside the ring. He gets F5s onto the announce table. He did say it was a steel announce table earlier. I'm like, oh, wait. No, buddy, that's not that. It's not steel. Trust and believe. Like, yeah, I want to hype it up. That's not steel. Anyway, brawling. They come in the ring. They start fighting. Yada, yada, yada. Brass knuckles comes into effect. He starts knocking people out. Roman gets the brass knuckles. He hitting the Superman punch on everyone. And then the ending happens, right? That's where things got a little iffy. Like I said, I'm kind of not rocking with that. Kind of fell a little flat for me personally, but overall, pretty enjoyable match. If I have to give this show a rating, oh, before I give the show a rating, let's talk about the shot after the ending, right? It's CM Punk on the floor, Cody Rhodes on the floor, Roman standing over him, right? This past Raw, they were talking about he's going for the championship. He's going for one of them. He helps up Punk. He stares at Cody. Cody gets up, get face to face with it, and then he just walks off. I don't get the point of that, what that was about. I, I thought he's going to do something, hit him with a Superman punch, spear. You know what I mean? They did nothing. He just walked off. Show ends. I do find it very interesting, the shot composition. You guys start paying attention. In the background behind Roman, you know what you saw? The Usos. That might be hitting at something. I've got to talk about that in a minute. But overall, if I had to give this show a rating, I give it about a C plus. C plus, B minus around there. Because it wasn't bad. It didn't hit. It personally didn't hit. I still don't understand why Cody is involved in this and not LA Knight. I don't get that. Someone please explain that to me. I don't get that part. But the show was okay. Let me know your thoughts in the comments when you're down there. Drink water. Have a good day.